Hi and hello watch fans, and welcome to the video version of our recent Casio Collectors podcast. When we took to the airwaves, we invited Mike Stockton, Balazs Ferenczi and G2 to the studio to tell us about their history collecting Casio watches. Now we're here in real life with three more of the team to find out where their Casio journeys began. First off, Lake Stock, how's it going, buddy?
It's going okay. It's going okay.
Good. I see you have a very nice looking Casio G-Shock on your wrist.
Yeah.
Could you tell us where your involvement with Casio first began?
Well, I'm old enough to still remember the rise of the G-Shock, but I was not into G-Shocks in the 80s. I was more into Swatches.
Of course.
So my conversion came way later. Mm-hmm. And actually, I got this one in Tokyo. I love saying that. I got this one in Tokyo.
He does love saying that.
Yeah, I do. I was with Casio in Tokyo.
Okay.
But I bought this with my own yen. I wanted a square because I think for me the square is the G-Shock. And I actually didn't want this one. I wanted a creamy white one.
Oh yeah, that's a nice look.
That's what I thought. And I have two criteria they have to match. It has to be solar power and multiband. So it's just, you put it on and you forget about it.
Okay.
So I walked the streets of Tokyo. What's that district called with all the...
He talks to me like I've been to Tokyo.
Oh,
I've
never been to Tokyo.
But he likes to remind me of that fact as well.
Anyway, there's this district where they have all the electronics stores, etc., etc.
Okay.
So me and a mate, we went on the hunt for the off-white square.
So it needed multi-band and it needed solar charging.
Yeah.
And those are the
Essential.
most important things.
For
You
me
need
it
this.
is, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's essential. I don't need anything else. I don't need the tight thingy, etc., etc. I don't need that. I just want a carefree, no battery change. Watch that also keeps time, takes in account the summertime. You know, all that.
Yep.
So I found that off-white one, put it on my wrist, and it just looked horrible.
Yeah. Did you not have a decent tan at the time?
I looked like a mummy wearing a watch. It was awful, really. If you have a bright white watch on your wrist, it stands out. And this sort of blended in with my, I don't know, Caucasian skin tone that isn't much of a tone.
So it has to be solar powered and have multi-band for you to be interested?
Yeah, because I'm very lazy.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I don't want to fiddle with it. I don't want to set the watch. I don't want to have it brought somewhere for a new battery.
No emotional relationship whatsoever. You just want to strap it on and forget about it.
That's it.
Okay.
Also because I'm, some guys are tech geeks or gadget freaks.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, you're
definitely not.
No.
So no. But it had to be off-white. Well, that's what I thought until I put it on my wrist and it just didn't work.
So you did find one eventually?
Yeah.
You tried it on?
Tried it on and the color just didn't work for me at all.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you've ended up with this rather enticing night blue shade instead.
Yeah. This, you mean this GWM 5610 NV, where the NV stands for Navy.
No way is that actually the reference number. You remembered that?
Yeah.
Is that what you had written down on a piece of paper in enormous type before we walked into the room? Yeah, you can read it across like the hallway.
Yeah, I'm also really bad with reference numbers.
Who isn't? I mean, if you're not, there's something gone wrong in your life, I think.
Or you're a Patek collector, and I'm not. Anyway. Later I found out this is a JDM. So that's also nice. So I got this JDM.
Oh, so you had no idea?
I didn't know at the time.
So what is a JDM for any of our viewers that don't know?
Japanese domestic market.
So that's an exclusive model to Japan. So this model would never really have been seen in high street windows or even on, region-specific e-commerce stores for us in Europe. So
exactly.
What a steal.
Yeah. It does have one drawback, though. It has the negative display.
Well, now, I'm also not a fan of negative displays in general. I do own a couple because I think from an aesthetic perspective, they can be cool. They can certainly look nice. But legibility-wise, tough. However, it's not a standard negative, is it? Because it has like a sort of orange screen color to it.
No,
it's like
that's
a
the
richness.
There is no orange anywhere.
No orangeness at all, just the reflection.
Probably the shirt.
Oh, it could be the shirt. Right. So if you want to get the orange reflection, it says wear an orange shirt or something close to it. But it's really, really nice. I love it. I love the colorway.
I do too.
Do you think you'll be adding to your collection anytime soon?
I really like the. I'd like to have one with the newest module, and I'd like to have a full white version. Still, now I know that I want a white version.
So the China white, not the sort of creamy white.
Exactly, but then again, it has to have the multiband 6. It has to have the solar power. That is the criteria I opt for. So that's it. But for now, I'm perfectly happy with wearing this blue jeans, blue, navy blue.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Why wouldn't you be? It's fantastic. So we'll have to have a word with Casio about creating the perfect pure white watch for you with the multiband, with the solar, and yeah, why not the newest movement while we're at it, because that's got some nice little features as well.
Exactly.
In the meantime, wear this one in good health, and next we are going to welcome another team member to the studio. Thanks, Lex.
You're welcome.
Okay, next up in the studio we have Nacho, our managing editor. And Nacho is a big fan of Casio, as well as finding excellent bargains all around the internet and the world in general. So tell us, how did you first come into contact with the Casio brand?
It was a long time ago, actually. Must have been 6 or 7 years old in school back in the day. And one of my best friends had a Casio F91W.
Classic.
Total classic. And that was actually my first watch, as it turns out. I basically asked for it for my birthday, and I got one. Brother got a matching one. My parents engraved a little N on the back of it, so we could tell them apart. And that was my first watch. I still have it. And then years down the line, I kind of went down the path again and found out about the G-Shocks, and I ended up with this one here, which is a DW5600E, I believe. Very similar to the one worn in the movie Speed by Keanu Reeves, actually.
Nice.
So it's a cool one, not a solar one, just one of the basic models, and cool little watch. Use it for running or on holiday or just for any daily knocking around.
You've had quite a Keanu Reeves day, haven't you? Because you just recently wrote up a new Hamilton Matrix watch, which will have been launched by the time we put this video out there. But I mentioned you like bargain hunting, so tell us where you actually got this watch and how much you paid for it.
Well, yeah, this is one of my bargain hunts. Not that it needs to be cheaper than it already is. It's already quite a reasonably priced watch, but I got this one from eBay Kleinanzeigen, German classified ads like Craigslist or something like that, and I think it's like 36 euros, something like that.
What a bargain. And has it served you well since?
Absolutely. Yeah, never misses a beat.
So I'm guessing because of the good experience you've had with this one, you'll be planning on adding to your Casio collection in the future. Have you got any idea what you'd like to make your next purchase?
I think I'd like to sort of stay within the form factor and then step it up a notch and kind of go with the solar version of this with the new European date module that corrects the month and day display on the...
That corrects the month and day. Yeah, well, I like it. Yeah.
For us, yeah.
For us, yeah. Brilliant. All right. Thanks, Nacho. That was a pleasure.
Yeah.
See you again soon.
Happy to be here.
Okay, last, joining us in the studio today, we have RJ. You might have heard of him. He's often featured on Fratello. Hi, RJ. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Pleasure to see you. You are a long-time fan of Casio, and as evidenced, we can see by the watch that lay on the table before us. Could you tell us exactly how your journey with Casio began?
Are you calling me old?
Yes, my friend, I am.
So I started... collecting is a big word, but I think I started collecting watches or hoarding watches as a kid. I was born in 1977, so I grew up in the 80s.
Oh, good lord.
Which was a good period for Casio, I guess.
The best, maybe.
Perhaps the best. And I remember that I went on a holiday with my parents to the UK. We always went to the UK.
Best place in the world to holiday.
Because my father has this thing for World War II and so on.
And rain.
And rain, so we had to stand in fields. And he said, oh, this was this and this. And there was nothing to see, but he found it very interesting. So on one of these trips, we went to a city, I can't remember which one, but probably Canterbury.
Okay, very nice place.
Yeah, and there was a Dixon's.
Wow.
Also a very nice place.
If you like your electronics, yeah.
Exactly, and I wanted to watch. I was 8 or 9, I think it was 86, so I was 9. during a holiday, and I bought this Casio watch.
Gorgeous.
And it still runs, but I have to be honest here. I fixed it because it wasn't running at some point. I think it ran until 2005 or 2006.
Okay, that's a good innings.
Yeah, and then the LCD became black.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so I went on eBay and searched for this watch, and most of them are blue and white or blue and yellow, and only a few were red and white. So I tried to find this one and ordered it as a spare, and I got the movement out of the one that I ordered through eBay Italy for €10.
Bargain.
Yes, and put the movement in this watch and my own watch case, and it worked. So I'm a
You're a watchmaker now.
watchmaker. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
a pilot, by the way, if you didn't know.
Cool. Yeah. And of course, I put a new strap on these because at some point they become a bit plasticky and they rip easily.
Yeah, they do many things, don't they, over
Yeah.
time? Some of them dry out and crack
Yeah.
a little bit, but they're not
But
expensive
of course,
to replace.
nearly 40 years old, so it's
Wow, that is a long time.
yeah. It's the W14 for the fans.
It's a classic watch. It's really nice. And I like the fact that it's got a little bit of red on there because although we've been talking about everyone else's favourite watches in their collection today, we haven't touched upon mine.
What's your favorite watch,
I'll
Rob?
tell you what my favourite watch is, RJ. It is this beautiful red and white Budweiser Special Edition G-Shock, which I picked up earlier this year. By complete chance, I was talking to the team from Casio Germany, and they'd just received a press release from one of their partners in America, and they didn't realise this watch was coming out, but it was released as part of a collaboration with Bodega, a little fashion house in New York, and it was available for maybe 2 hours, and I was on the site at the right time, and I paid $240, I think, for this watch, and it has been an absolute joy to wear.
Cool.
So, you know, what I love about G-Shock, like Lex focused on the functionality and Nacho focused on maybe the wearability and the affordability. I love these crazy special editions because I think it's the perfect canvas to do something just fun and goofy. And look, it says Budweiser around the strap.
Cool.
And yeah, I mean, if that doesn't make you smile, then what will? But tell us, what is it that you have in this box right here?
So, and I like collaborations as well because I'm a kid of the 80s. I played with Transformers.
Sure.
Generation 1 Transformers. I think last year or the year before, G-Shock did a collaboration with Transformers, with Hasbro, I think.
The Optimus Prime clock
But
thing.
it was only for Japan, so I missed out on it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Unfortunately. But if I come across one on eBay,
Can
whatever.
you tell the viewers that might not have seen it what it was like?
It was a watch. Basically, I think there are two versions actually. One might be a clock, and the other one is a wristwatch.
I have a feeling that the wristwatch plugs into the chest of Optimus Prime.
So then you have a more or less a desk clock.
Yeah.
So there are two versions, but I would love to get one. So if anyone has tips, please leave it in the comments. So that I can find one. When I bought this, I was around 8 or 9, and I saw the G-Shock, and I should have bought it because probably it was one of the first generations, right, of the squares.
Yeah. Could have been a real collectible.
But unlike today, I was a very small and thin kid.
Okay, and you're
I
not
had
a small
my
and
height,
thin
but
kid
it was
now.
very thin. So the G-Shock didn't fit me. And I always was a bit bothered by,
Did you have the
G-Shock-
mullet back then? Because you could have worn it as like a hair bob.
I had
or
a proper
something.
80s mullet as well.
Yeah,
I was a
nice.
bit like the guy from who works with his pocket knife. What's his name?
MacGyver.
Okay. I was a bit bummed out that I never got the first G-Shock. So in 2003, 20 years after the introduction of the G-Shock, they introduced like a re-edition of that first G-Shock.
Yep.
And I saw it on, I think it was eBay Japan. And it came in this special box. It's cardboard, but it looks fancy.
Actually looks
almost
like
fancy.
anodized aluminium, but it is
But
just
it's not paper.
it's red cardboard.
It says 20th anniversary. It's interesting box. I think there was an outer box as well and some papers, but I don't know where they went. So then I bought this G-Shock, which is the DW5000 SP. And I think it's very similar to the first G-Shock, including the wording and the printing basically and the colors. And for me, the interesting part is that it's a steel watch. It's a steel case.
Has a steel core, right?
It has a steel core.
Incredibly
then
heavy
with
for a G-Shock.
With the plastic or the rubber on top of it. And oh man, even the protective plastic is still on the case back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is a collector's item.
So, but yeah, for me, this is the G-Shock, this model. I also have the other ones, and not that one. That's also interesting. But I have my Mudmaster, and I think I have a Frogman. But for me, the squares are the deal. So I also have the steel one and the rose gold one.
Yeah, you've got quite a few, right?
yeah, it's just a cool watch, I think.
I think that this colorway and this dial design is one of the best of all time, and they were right to revisit it as they did, well, almost 20 years ago again. And even the recent update calls back to this design because it is just eternal. So I think you picked a good one to bring along today. And thanks for taking the time to join the Casio Collectors video. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and leave some comments for us below, especially if you know where to find an Optimus Prime G-Shock.
Exactly.
And we'll see you again next time.
18th.
Get out of time. You know what I keep doing? I'm doing it on the timer, on the countdown timer. So it's like a second.